Yeah, my life is completely different today since I have found LifeWave. I started having health issues as a very young woman. Even in my teens, I was having pain and I couldn't explain where it was coming from. I didn't know why. By the time I was 21, I was having some pretty serious back pain and shoulder pain issues, and I started going to doctors and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. Um, I just didn't understand why it was so much harder for me to do things than other people. I was in my 20s. You're supposed to be launching, you're supposed to be having your family, starting a career, you're supposed to be your strongest. And it was hard for me to get dressed. It was hard for me to drive a car. It was hard for me to go to the grocery store and do that whole routine. And I just couldn't understand what was wrong with me because the doctor said, we can't find anything wrong with you. And as the years progressed, I went into my 30s and I developed psoriasis, a gluten intolerance, fragrance intolerances, chemical intolerances. I had multiple food intolerances, started having insomnia, joint pain, muscle pain. It felt like the list just went on and on. Every time I felt like maybe something was getting better, something else would raise its head. Digestive issues. It was just extremely challenging to be so young and have all these issues and feel like you can't do the things you want to do because your health is not in a place that allows you to do it. By the time the pandemic hit, I really hit rock bottom. I started having these extreme muscle spasm episodes. It felt like a bulldog would grab a hold of me in my shoulder and my back and wouldn't let go. It went on for sometimes minutes, sometimes hours. And after the episodes were over, I was weak as stump water. And it wasn't something I could get over in a day or two. I was down for weeks, sometimes months. And I began to have extreme anxiety and fear because I never knew when the next one was going to hit. Before I could get over one, another one would hit me. I was bedbound. My family had to take care of me. I could barely change the channels on the remote. I couldn't bathe myself. It was an extremely scary time. Can you imagine being that young and not able to function or take care of yourself or work? I was devastated. I was depressed. It was awful. I couldn't go see any doctors again at that point because everything was shut down during the pandemic. Fortunately, when the pandemic, things started to lighten up and you could go back and see doctors, I got sent over into an area where I hadn't been before. I was trying to try all kinds of different kinds of doctors. But some of them I went to and they told me this is all in your head. We do MRIs, we've done blood tests, we've done muscle tests, Rachel. We can't find anything wrong with you. You just ruined your own life with your thoughts. It's in your head. And that was devastating. But I just couldn't believe that was true. So you can imagine it was a very difficult time. But thankfully, last year, I met a naturopathic doctor who worked with a very open-minded neurologist, and they were finally able to tell me what was going on. And they told me that I had 5 different kinds of Lyme disease. I had mold illness. I had parasites. I had adrenal issues. And I began to work with them and I did begin to get better. I began, to feel better, to have less muscle spasms, to have less pain, to be able to function more. But I couldn't get back to living a normal life. I couldn't work. I couldn't drive a car. I had to have people still come help me. I cook for me, clean for me. I couldn't lift anything over a pound because in my 20s I'd been hit in the chest and I had costochondritis. Can you imagine living a decade and not being able to pick up anything over a pound? And so I was still going, what am I going to do? And very fortunately, again, miracle happened and I found LifeWave. And I had about 3 or 4 different ladies I knew begin to tell me about these patches. And at first I kept saying, no, no, that's not going to work. I didn't understand. I didn't know what the technology was. I didn't understand what it could do for somebody. I They started sending me samples. I start putting the patches on, Eon and X39. And within 10 days, I went off muscle relaxers that I had been on every single day for 5 years of my life. I just didn't need that. The spasms went away. I didn't need to reach for them anymore. Within weeks, I had this overwhelming sense of wellness that it's hard for me to explain. I just woke up and I felt well. And within weeks from then, I was cooking, I was lifting heavy pots and pans, I was sweeping, I was mopping, I was doing the laundry, I was changing the fitted sheet on the bed. If you've ever not been able to do that and then you can do it, you're very proud of yourself. I was walking up and down 3 and 4 flights of stairs. I wouldn't have to take the elevator anymore. And I started being able to lift small weights and exercise, something I had not been able to do in ages. And it just kept getting better and better. I added the X49 patch about 3 months in, and the costochondritis inflammation started to disappear. Kept going, added the glutathione patch. I started to detox mold better and better. And it's just been a miracle for me. And I'm so thrilled that I was finally willing to give it a try because it was like, well, Lord, you have sent 3 or 4 different people in my life. They keep telling me about these patches. Maybe I need to give this a chance. And I am just exuberantly happy that I did because it has given me my life back. I went from being a bedbound person who had to depend on everybody else to somebody who can do anything they want for themselves again. I'm driving again. I started driving for my birthday, and that is so liberating to be able to drive a car again and go where you want to, when you want to. And then this last month I started Pilates classes, which was a long, lifelong dream of mine. And just this week I signed up and I'm going to integrative health practitioner school. So all this has enabled me to do all the things that I've just wanted to do for so very long. And I'm thrilled. And I hope if you are considering it, that you will give it a chance because it's well worth it.
Rachel, when we talk, I mean, that's amazing. So this was over 20 years, 10 years, 20 years.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean, you,
almost 21 when I
yeah.
started having so much trouble, and I'm in my 40s now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just hard to conceive. I mean, I carried up stuff today that must have been, I don't know, 30 pounds of stuff. And I can't imagine lifting just one box of whatever it is to do something that I'm not able to do. And then to not be able to do all of it. And this is 20 years worth of time that you had, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you had an incident with your mom where things were kind of not working out for her, and that was depressing. And
Yes, I was having extreme anxiety. Every time I would talk to my mom, my anxiety would go up and it would cause the spasm episodes to come back. And with the patch, after being on that for just a few weeks, my nervous system calmed down. And I went from having constant thoughts of, I can't handle this. This is overwhelming. This is too much. I can't do it. I can't do it. It was like a light switch flipped with the Eon and the X39 and my thoughts changed and it was like I went from a dark closet to a room that was lit and my thoughts were I can do this, I can handle this. I, and then the spasms disappeared. It was just amazing what it did for my nervous system.
yeah. So you've been on the patches now, X39, Eon, X49, and anything else?
I
Glutathione.
had a glutathione and then I've done Alavita and Silent Night as well. And those two together at night, if you can't sleep, I highly recommend giving it a try.
Yeah.
You
You
sleep
just
like a baby.
tried, you said the sleep the silent night, right?
I did Silent Night with Alavita over the weekend, and I
Yeah.
had a virus over the weekend.
Oh
And I thought,
wow.
"Oh, I'm not going to sleep well because of this virus." And I slept like a baby. I
Wow.
didn't wake up till the next. I got up once to go to the bathroom, went right back to sleep. And it was, I woke up and I felt relaxed and calm and rejuvenated. And when you have a virus, you don't wake up feeling relaxed and calm and rejuvenated. That doesn't happen. I was like, "Ooh, this is a good thing to know about."
I can't imagine what it was like going to doctor after doctor after doctor, and no one can find out for 20 years.
No, I wouldn't want to redo it. That's for sure.
So
I'm so
you got a new life. You've been patching for 10 months.
yes, 10 months, 10 wonderful months.
Wow. And now you're going to be an integrative medicine
Yes, integrative health practitioner, and hopefully
practitioner.
I will be able to
Wow.
share the patches with lots of clients, and they're going
Wow.
to have amazing results because of what I'm going to learn there and what I'm going to be able to offer them through LifeWave.
Wow. I'm thrilled to hear the whole story. Like I said, your before and after pictures. Wow, that I said this is the same woman, and